So here is the dread that I will be using as an example. And from here to here, it's not doing anything. It's not something that really bothers me because most of my dreads are kind of like that anyway. But anyway, I'll show you how to kind of fix this little bit here. I've already been playing with it, so it's actually a lot looser than it normally is, but this is for educational purposes. So let me roll my sleeves up. Oh god, that was the cat. Alright, anyway, so what you want to do is undo a bit of what's been done here, because this is just kind of a mess. And you want to go up until the knot is tight, which is pretty much at this point for this particular dread. I can't really undo it beyond that point. Okay, so cat, do not try anything. Cat, get. I'm trying to make a video. Stop. You're black and you're taking up the scene. Ah, crap. Oh, there it is. Okay. So once you've pretty much got this unraveled to an extent, and it's just sort of fanned out like so, I just do this thing where I pinch parts of it and pull it really, really tight. And I just keep doing that from different angles. And now this, I don't know what this is, but that's why I'm making a video. I'm just pulling really tight, choosing different bunches, and then doing something like that. So when something like this starts happening, I don't know if you can see that, this like loopy thing, it's like, nah, I don't really want that, so that's when this comes into play. Do a little bit of that. It looks really funny. So already it's starting to look better, yeah, but it's an illusion because this is still pretty loose down here, so I'm going to go back to doing this like pinch and pull thing. And this makes a mess, by the way. Little broken pieces of hair will go everywhere, usually into your lap or into the lap of the person sitting next to you when you're on the airplane and bored. So you start working on your hair and they get really sicked out and ask the flight attendant if they can change their seat. That has happened to me, if you haven't been able to tell. So yeah, it's, you know, it's kind of looking better. A little bit of this always helps too when you're bored in class. at Dreamtime University, which never happens, by the way, because all the classes are amazing. Gets to a point where you're like really just taking the little tiny bits and struggling to make knots, but the best way to do it is really just to get that solid knot to go all the way to the end so that you don't have to worry about it unraveling. So that's about as far as I can go now, which is a big difference than before. And at that point, I just finish up with it. Give it a good roll. Alright, so that's good. Another thing I wanted to show. God, this is really weird talking to myself. Where is it? I'm looking for an example here. Oh, I don't know if you could see this, but there's a knot in this dread right here. I actually just tied the dread because if you look above it, it's very loose up here, and like this was dreaded. Let me get a better angle. This was dreaded and this was dreaded, but there was just this loose part in the middle that I couldn't do anything with, and it was getting really thin, and I was worried that like this whole half of the dread was just gonna break off. So I tied a knot there, and that seems to have worked pretty well. I've done that in a few places. And I'm looking for something. I need some music, some like hold music. Oh, okay, here it is. This dread is, I play with it the most because it does this. Yeah, so it's like stuck here, but open here and here. It's actually, as I'm pulling it, kind of separating. Whatever. It's kind of an awkward, it looks like a pretzel thing. But anyway, these little flyaways that happen around it get pretty annoying, so I usually just take them and like put them through like that and roll it, or you could always do the old loop thing just to kind of reinforce, because it makes this part like spiral. And I think that's it. Right? I'll take one more look here. More examples. See, like this one, if you look at this one, it's very kind of like all along, because this was like the original, you know, from like here to here is like when I first did the dreads. So this is all chunky and awkward, and that's just what happened. I got a lot of these like loops that stuck out the side, and I actually used to cut them off, which is why it just has little spikes sticking out everywhere. It's probably not a good idea because essentially I've disconnected all this hair from, you know, the top of my head, and it could just unravel and fall out. And it didn't do that, which is a good thing. But, okay, I'm gonna end this now. I hope that helped.